Welcome to ILTV's Israel Daily. I'm Lijar Gravelazian. Coming up in today's newscast. The 4 Israelis murdered in the terror attack in Eli have been laid to rest. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Netanyahu saying all options are open in responding to Palestinian terrorism. And in some positive news, the star of Netflix's hit show Jewish Matchmaking joins us in the studio. Israel mourns as the 4 victims of yesterday's terrorist attack at a gas station in Eli were laid to rest. 4 others still remain hospitalized. This brings the death toll to 28. 28 people who have been murdered in terror attacks since the beginning of the year. More in this report from ILTV's Steve Leibovitz.
Funerals were held last night and early today. Those killed: Harel Masur, 21 years old, from Yad Binyamin; Elisha Antman, a 17-year-old from Eli; Ofer Fairman, age 60, from Eli; and Nachman Shmuel Mordov, age 17, from Achihud. Family and friends mourn the tragic losses in the latest terror attack in Samaria. 4 others injured in the attack, carried out by 2 terrorists, remain in hospital. One of the terrorists was killed on sight by a wounded victim. The second fled the scene. Hamas has claimed responsibility for the massacre, and both gunmen were affiliated with the terror group. The 2 gunmen arrived at the gas station by car and first opened fire with assault rifles at diners in the adjacent Hummus Eliyahu restaurant, and then targeted motorists at the gas station itself. An armed and wounded civilian shot and killed one of the terrorists.
מגיע לרכב שישב שם בן אדם, הוא דפק צרור. אני פתחתי את הדלת, נשק דרכתי כבר בצומת, לא מצלי. פתחתי את הדלת, יריתי עליו, הוא ירה עליי.
According to the Magen David Adom ambulance service, 8 Israelis were treated at the scene of the attack. 4 were declared dead at the scene, and 4 were taken to hospitals in Israel. One of the victims was listed in serious condition, 2 were in moderate condition, and 1 was lightly hurt. The second gunman stole a running vehicle from one of the victims and fled the scene. 2 hours later, the Shin Bet security agency said Israeli forces located and killed the second Palestinian gunman. Shin Bet officers and members of the elite Yamam counterterrorism police unit found the car that the terrorists stole from the gas station abandoned near the Palestinian town of Tubas, and the assault rifle used in the attack. A short while later, the suspect was located in a taxi inside Tubas and was neutralized by special forces.
And joining us now with more on the aftermath of the terror attack in Eli is Eliana Pacentin, International Desk Director of the Binyamin Regional Council, joining us now from the site of yesterday's terror attack. Thank you for joining us. So a tragic and really senseless act of terror yesterday in Eli. What is the feeling like today?
I'll tell you a little bit. I've lived in Eli for 28 years, and on a personal note, when I first got the call that something horrible happened in Eli, and then they told me it was at the Hummus, at the gas station, the first thing a mother does is thinks, where are my children? And I have a son that works here at the Hummus. And I frantically started calling him to see where he is, and he answered after a bit. So I understood that he wasn't here, and then I called the rest of my kids that there was a lockdown. So first you get through the stress of a mother looking for her children and finding them. And then the realization that there's another mother out there, it's maybe your friend or your neighbor, and her son didn't answer her phone call and worked at the Hummus that day. And since yesterday, and since that realization hit, I've been to 2 funerals of friends that are like family in the town of Eli. We're a close-knit community. It's a large community, but it's a close-knit community. And there's a lot of pain, but there's also a lot of hope.
A lot of hope. I mean, living in Eli and Judea and Samaria, are you constantly concerned for your safety, for the safety of your family? Is this something that you feel on a daily basis?
Not at all. I'll tell you, the truth is that I lived here during the second Intifada, which was horrible all over Israel, like everywhere, buses blowing up. But here especially, it was scary. You go to sleep scared. You go to sleep afraid. And the last 10, 15 years here, tourism is flourishing. Everything is wonderful. We don't even remember to be afraid. We do take precautions. The windows of my cars are plastic windows. For people who live here, you have to take precautions. But I'm originally from San Francisco, and there are earthquakes in San Francisco. And then, everywhere in the world, there's some kind of something that you have to take a precaution for. But this is an escalation. This is a serious, serious murder, a brutal murder. People sitting down, eating hummus in the middle of the day at the gas station in Eli. And that's something that I don't think people are going to be afraid, but we're very, very, very upset.
Now, you also are the international desk coordinator for the Binyamin Regional Council, and I understand that, the council has moved its headquarters to the site of the terrorist attack. I mean, why did you do that, and what message are you trying to send?
So the message of the governor of our region, Israel Gantz, is to the people. I am here with you. We're not a municipality that's way up in our headquarters. We're out here in the field. We're going to find a solution to this. We're going to make sure this absolutely never happens again. And we're going to fight it. Wherever lives are taken, we're going to build. We're going to build new yeshuvim. We're going to build a medical center. We're going to bring more families. We're going to build more businesses, more restaurants. And that's why the governor of the regional council decided to bring his headquarters and his entire team right here to Eli, to the gas station, next to the hummus, exactly where this horrific tragedy occurred yesterday.
So responding to terrorism and death with growth and life, essentially.
That's right.
And, I have to ask, as a resident of Eli, as a mother, as you said, what is the message that you yourself would like to send to the people of your community, to the people of Israel, and to all the viewers watching today?
Well, the message I'd like to send is a message of strength, of hope, and of prayer. We have one country, and I live here in Eli in the biblical heartland. It's the heartland of Israel. Right down the street is ancient Shiloh, Israel's first capital. This is Highway 60, known as the Highway of the Patriarchs. We have a right to live here, to build here, to grow, and to flourish. And we ask all of the Jews in the world to come make Aliyah and to live here with us, to build Israel. And all the tourists in the world to come tour here and see our beautiful sites. And we ask the international community, a special request, to absolutely condemn terror. This was a severe act of terror. This was a brutal murder. This has nothing to do with anything else going on. And this absolutely has to be stopped. And we need the international community to put pressure on the Palestinians and to put pressure on the terrorists to absolutely stop this. And this is unacceptable in any way.
All right, Eliana, our thoughts are with you and the people of Eli. Thank you so much for speaking with us today.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And in the aftermath of yesterday's massacre, there are growing calls within the cabinet for a widespread IDF operation in Northern Samaria. Prime Minister Netanyahu said that all options are on the table and vowed to continue to fight and ultimately defeat Israel's terrorist enemy. Prime Minister Binyamin Netanyahu lashed out following the attack in Eli, saying that Israeli forces always settle the score with murderers, without exception.
כל מי שפגע בנו נמצא או בקבר או בכלא. כך יהיה גם כאן. אבל אני רוצה להגיד לכל מבקשי נפשנו, כל האופציות פתוחות. אנחנו נמשיך להילחם בטרור במלוא העוצמה, ואנחנו ננצח אותו.